Hello, man cavers. What are we doing today? We're going to have another look at the Norman and replace an HT lead and see how we get on. Right, roll the credits and then we'll be back. Ha! Welcome to the man cave. Let the games begin. Right, we are back, man cavers. Before we do HT lead, do you remember the dodgy handle with that horrible end on there? Look at that. That horrible end which is all split and knackered and don't really fit on the shaft, right? Look at all the play in that. Because that's all split in the corner. Right, well I have done a modification to the handle. So if I give it a quick hubba, you'll see we have another end on there. I have put a socket on. 1/2-inch drive socket. There we go. Which fits. Look at that. So much better. No wobble. And it's not going to give us a lot of stick. So, our handle is fixed. Dodgy end gone. Right. Now I've got that little bit out of the way. We can get to taking this HT lead off. Now then, for the minute, because it's Thursday today, and in about 3 hours' time, I shall be going off to Henham Rally. So for the time you see this video at 6 o'clock tonight, I will be at Henham. Now then, we know this right-hand lead is working well. It's always firing on this right-hand cylinder. This is the problematic cylinder. This is the problematic lead because it don't hold in there, look. It doesn't hold in, and these are shielded with a metal shielding, and inside there's a rubber, like a normal rubber HT lead with a metal shielding around it. Well, that had all rotted on the end, and when I took it to pieces, how can you put it, the inner insulation is disintegrating inside this steel shroud. So when I was peeling the steel shroud off, the insulation was coming off with it. And that took me 2 attempts, which made the lead about 2 inches too short. And now when I stick it in there, it's not making a good contact. It doesn't go far enough because the lead's not long enough now. So we're going to replace today just this one. I'm going to try and keep the army style spark plug in here. Try. So I'm going to see if I can replace just the HT lead and keep this piece. You know what I mean? If I can't, then I'll have to just take this army plug out and put a normal plug in. But several of you on the video saying, oh no, keep that original army plugs. So I'm going to try. So I'm going to see if I don't know. You guys might better explain how these leads hold in this end, because I'm not sure. I'm really not sure whether I think that lead comes right through to here, but whether I can get that all to pieces. We'll get it on the bench and have a look and see if we can just replace this lead. There we go. Alright, let me get up and we'll get you set up in the bench. So we are back in the shed. I have got to suss how this all comes to pieces. It does look like actually there's a screw in there, which I hadn't noticed before. So let me get a screwdriver. Ah, it looks like this end comes out of here. Or maybe not. I think this outer casing has got to stay still. look like there's an outer casing turning with it. So I'm going to try, I'm on the outer casing now, not on the porcelain. Aha! There we go. Right, here we are. There's a little ball of HT lead there and a little cap must come off. So our HT lead, I think, just goes through this tube. Oh, okay. Right, well, if we can get this to pieces, we might be able to. Yeah, there's our little threaded end. Oh, hang on, there's another piece here, look. There you go, there's another little bit there. How does this all work? Does that thread back in there? Sort of, yeah, there's a little cap. Here. Let's get some flash on. And go, there's a little cap. There we are. Where the HT lead goes through, which sits in this insulated part. Right, I don't like my chances of this nut coming undone. But we will have a go. I'm just moving you so you can see in the voice. Here we go. So this one's loose. So I think we need to hold this bit of tube without distorting it too much. And see if this will come undone. Doubtful. So I don't want to twist the damn tube. You know, I don't want to twist this tube and break it. So I don't know if we're gonna. Oh, that's tight. Do you reckon? Yeah, that does come undone, don't it? Do you reckon we should get a bit of heat on this? I don't think putting a bit of heat on it is going to hurt it, is it? So I don't think we'll get this lead out of here because that's probably crimped onto this little bit. Right, let's get a little bit of heat on there and see if we can get that undone. If push comes to shove, guys, what I shall have to do is put a normal spark plug in it and just have an HT lead from the mag down to the plug. This is just a last ditch attempt really to try and keep the original army plug in there. What the hell, Smoky Joe? Ah, look at that. You just love a little bit of heat, don't you? A little bit of heat, look. And it's just come undone. It has now totally destroyed that lead. But, there you go. And this is where I forget the damn thing's hot and go and grab hold of it, innit? Wow, there we go. Our leaders, well, there you go, through there. Right, I think I need to cool all this down in some water. Oh, insulator come out there, look, there we go. Insulator out. There's a sleeve. And there's some more sleeving by the look of it. So I'm just going to use normal rubber HT lead. Right, let me grab hold of this and put in here. Oh, he was hot. And we'll give this end a dunking as well. There we go. Oh no, cooled down in our water. Can you see that? Just look. Yeah. One day I will master camera skills, but that day may not be today. Right, here we go. Let's get my cleanest dirty rag and we'll just give this a wipe up. There we are. Right. Phew. So what we got in here? Oh, I see. Right, I'm with you. So really, we've got to get our HT lead to go back in. Let me turn the compressor on so I can blow this out. Yeah. Back in a minute when that's charged. Right, compressor is full. So let's see if we can blow whatever this crap is out of there. Ha ha, there was a big old chippet just come out of there. Oh yes, if I hold this just a light, I can just see daylight around this bend. So, there we are. Right, now we've got to get this piece off here. Well that nut piece just come off there. So let's snip our old lead. Oh, it's tough, Jesus. There we go. We need that nut bit. This piece I don't think we're going to be able to use because this is the bit I've struggled with before, which is actually the crimp where that insulated wire goes through, and it's a heck of a job to reuse them. I mean, it's only going to be a show engine, so I don't see a lot of point in breaking your back to try and use this crimp again when we can just put the lead through, and I'll probably put some super glue around it to get it in there to hold him in. Right, this is the end what goes on the plug, isn't it? Our insulator. As the HT lead go up through there and come out through this insulator, and then our little cap goes on. Right, I got this sus now. Okay, right, I think we can work this. Right, where is the HT lead? There it is, I'm looking at it. So here's my HT lead. I've only got a couple of meters left, but that should be plenty. So we'll see if we can poke this through here. Look at that, here it comes. Aha! There we go. So our HT lead is through this casing. And this is the bit that goes up to your spark plug. So we need to strip quite a bit of that. Yeah, that goes in there, look, just nicely. So we need to strip enough of that to go through this end and put these caps on. So if we come round and just strip a little piece here. There we are, we've got a little bit of that stripped. Give him a little, that's the plug end, isn't it? This bit comes on this end. Yeah, that's alright, we can leave that out for the minute. Just make sure I ain't got nothing wrong. And this bit comes through here. I'm going to dry this off. There we go. Blow this piece out. Excellent. There you go, that end is through there. And I think what we have to do now is, that was the bit I unscrewed. That bit went on there. this piece went through here. Oh, that don't tighten up. I thought that actually unscrewed. It turns out it doesn't. Oh, that's just where your wire lays in there, look. Oh, I'm with you. Right, okay. There you go, your wire just lays in there, in them grooves. That's why it was all balled up. So let's just trim a little bit of these off. And they lay in them grooves, look. See that? Let me see if I can get you in there. See, I think these wires lay in them grooves. There you go. And this makes contact with the back of the spark plug. Ah, we're getting this sus now. So what's going to stop that lead just pulling straight out of there? Because normally it would have had the crimp in there. I'm wondering if we can get a little bit of heat on that and solder it in. Just drop a little bit of solder on there, but I don't want to. I don't want to melt my new lead. Let me see if I can gingerly, with a tiny bit of heat, alright, let me see if I can put a little bit of heat on there, enough where I can solder it without melting the damn lead. We aren't quite hot enough yet, so I'm just on the end. No, I ain't hot enough yet. I just don't want the heat to penetrate down and melt that insulation. There we go. There you go, guys. We have some solder on that end. So that should now, oh yeah, that heat hasn't come, no, that heat ain't come down that wire at all. The insulator's a tad warm, but yeah, that's good. So we got just enough heat to do that. Let me just dunk that end in my water. Just to make sure that's not damaging that rubber insulation in there. Shouldn't do. Now I've got to blow all that water out. Putting water in an HT lead, as we all know, is not the brightest idea. Well, I think now that's blown out, it'll be fine. Now, have I put all this back together right? I can pull that wire back through a little. There we go. There we go, ready to go on our plug. So this end we just want on our magneto now. So let me get back out to the engine and then we can cut this HT lead to length. Ah! Right, here we are, back at our engine. So let's see if my abomination for replacing the HT lead works. It does indeed. That is screwing on there nicely, and we want enough to come back round here. Now we don't want it to rub on that exhaust. Do you reckon we should come round here so it comes through the exhaust here? How would that look? Yeah, something like that. That would probably be better, wouldn't it? 'Cause it ain't going to rub on this exhaust then. Or that's going to be close to the flywheel, or we could come in here It's going to look better coming in there instead of coming out of this exhaust. Alright, we'll give that a go. If I snip him off here, yep, I think that will give us enough HT lead. Right, we've now got to get this end off here now and see what we can do to sort this out. I don't even know if that will come off actually. Come on. There we go. Alright, that's off there. And this piece is out here. And I think that HT lead has just got to make contact with that. So we've got to get that HT lead. So we've got to get this piece on, then this piece, and then fry the end up, and that should make contact in the back there. So I think it's a back in the shed job, and we'll get everything back together. Marvellous. Come on, in you go. Marvellous, we are back in. Right. Let's see. Now, first thing is this piece needs to come back on here, don't it? Before I forget. What we're going to put in that end, because if it rains I don't want water going in there. I wonder if I could fill that up with like a black sealant, just so water can't run down into that if it gets wet. We'll sort that out later on. Right, what do we need first? We wanted this piece, didn't we? Then this piece, which is all cruddy. So I've got to somehow try and clean this out. So we'll get our wire brush on there and see if we can clean that out to get that over. Nope. Right, okay. Where's that little tiny screwdriver what I can use as a pick? Aha! Because that original lead, I super glued that in. There you go. There was a bit of super glue stuck in there. Alright, now this should go back on our engine. So let me fray this end up. So I'm assuming this lead doesn't go through, if you know what I mean. I assume that don't go through anything. I assume that's just the cable flattened at the end, which pushes against the contact of the mag. So let's give him a little twisty and spread him down on. There we are. And hopefully that'll hold it. Let's see if we can get all this back on this engine now. Marvellous. Right, we are back. So, let's get our end. I think this should push right in there. It is. That's making a metal contact. What's going on? Ah, there we go. We're on. Right, that lead is just going to pull straight out of there. There's nothing actually holding it in. So I might have to do my super glue trick again. I think that'll work. Alright, let's get this end back in. Pretty sure I have made this end long enough. We want that lead. Did I even tighten this plug down? I didn't, did I? There we go. Right, I'm going to hold that sort of there. Perfect. Don't want to over nip everything. So our lead is not touching the exhaust. It's all the way in there now. So I think we can be tightening this up. There we go. I don't want to over tighten. I don't want to break this plastic coupling. Right, I think our lead is all in. Excellent stuff. Yep, this is really good. Right. I think a little bit of super glue dribbled in there to hold that will make sure that don't pop out. Right, now if I upend this engine so gravity can help us out a little, if I tip him up there a little, there we go. I can dribble a little bit of my Stronghold industrial super glue. We can dribble a little bit of that in that hole, and that will hopefully run down and hold that lead in place. There we go. There's a little bit in there. Let's make sure he is pushed all the way in. There. So I reckon give that a few minutes, and I think that should hold that lead in there. Absolutely marvellous. That's got it. I shan't pull and hawk on it for the minute, but it has got it. There we go. That'll need a couple of minutes to fully cure. That is most excellent. Right, guys. I think that is going to be it for this video. We have done our HT lead. I know it doesn't look as good as the shielded stuff, but it just weren't running right on that shielded stuff. It really weren't. Now then, I've got to get this thing in the van, in the back of the camper van, ready for the show. I don't like the trolley it's on, but this is very last minute taking this to the show, but there you go. We will see, won't we? Right, yeah, I think that is going to be it. I know you guys want to see this. I just know it. You want to see if it starts. And see if it starts and runs on 2 cylinders. And yes, as somebody pointed out, this is a bullet tank off an old Atco lawnmower. It is not original. Thank you very, very much for all your comments on this little engine. There we go, we'll turn that petrol tap on. Yes, thank you very much for all your comments on this little Norman. It's much appreciated. And I do read every single one. So yes. There we go, right. Let me get the handle and we'll see if that'll start. I was walking over there. The damn handle was on the table. Oh, and to answer a couple of questions. People were saying the float level they didn't think was right on this engine because the carb leaked. It wasn't the carb leaking, guys, it was the copper O-ring what hold the pipe on each end. The little copper banjo. They were well and truly knackered. And that was the only reason we had a carb leak. And like now, when I've damn well over tickled it, look. So let's see. I'm going to leave the choke off. Oh, that new handle's a lot better. Oh, hang on, we've got to put this little doohickey there, haven't we? We don't appear to have anything, guys. What the hell? Either way. Held the ram horn exhaust to make sure it was firing on 2 cylinders, and yes it is. Well, there we are. She starts again and she runs absolutely lovely. It's still running way too rich. It's still running way too rich because I've still got that air tap open. But hopefully we'll have a carb sort of the weekend what we can take bits out of and get this sorted. Ah! Oh. She sounds lovely, doesn't it? Sounds absolutely lovely. And we're instantly running on the 2 cylinders. That is marvellous. Let's shut her down. We just turned the petrol off. So we'll let her run out. Yeah. She'll now run out of petrol. So I'll leave you guys to watch her run out. And I'll shut up. There you go. She's out of petrol. Right, there you go, guys. That's going to be it. And we will see you, well, hopefully at Henham. Bye-bye for now. The Norman is running lovely.